Hey good loving humans, welcome to another Compassionate Systems tutorial brought to you by your NYCID team. Now, you are probably seeing that around here we really like our circles and ladders to help you find ways to streamline your thinking and being. Remember that one of your goals in our program is to be able to develop your mind and body in a way that keeps you headed towards your goals and not into ditches of despair or confusion. This video will help you understand a tool called the Ladder of Connectedness. Before we tell you about the ladder, we want to define two words we are sure you've heard of before. The key to understanding the Ladder of Connectedness is to really understand the words empathy and compassion. Empathy is feeling into the other, for better or for worse, often experiencing the pain of another in a connected, emotionally deep manner. Unlike sympathy or pity, when we feel bad for someone, with empathy, we feel the other person because we can relate their pain to an experience that we've had. What is challenging about empathy is that we often get stuck in the other person's pain and we can lose ourselves in the process of trying to help that person. Next is compassion. Compassion is the loving practice of staying with your own emotional reality while feeling concerned about another. With practice and patience, compassion can grow out of empathy. Ultimately, one can do more in helping through compassion than through empathy. As human beings, we should always seek to stay connected to our emotional system, and that means that in order to be of service to another person, we want to meet them with compassion. Now, you are ready to understand the Ladder of Connectedness, and in order to best describe this tool, we want you to picture an image that you all can relate to. Think about your high school cafeteria and all the personalities and people with their emotional squigglies that you would see at any given lunch period. Over in the corners, you have some people who seem to be feeling disconnected from others. Now, while we never want you to make any assumptions just from looking at someone who is off alone, you might sense that this person is really angry at someone or that they are hurting emotionally and just cannot connect to other people or things. And maybe you are or have been that person. The state of emotional disconnect is when we are not able to interact with others because we are so overwhelmed by our own emotions. Two people sitting at another table reveal that one person appears to be trying to help the other. And what you can kind of overhear is the person who you thought was helping is not really helping and is actually complaining about how badly that person is making you feel. You may hear that person say, "Wow, it's really hurting me to see you in so much pain. Can you not be in pain so I don't have to feel this badly too?" Or, "Cheer up, you're bumming me out. Stop being such a downer." This is called empathic distress. This is when we feel distressed by the distress of another. It's wanting to stop another person from expressing emotion because it hurts to feel your own emotions. Empathic distress may appear to be kindness, and it's actually a bit selfish. At another table, you might see a few people gathered together and in sync. They're wearing the same clothes, maybe listening to the same music. They are all speaking a language that is unique, almost like a shorthand between friends. They have their inside jokes, they all understand one another and are able to be empathetic. This is called in-group empathy. In this state, we tend to exclude people who aren't like us. It's an us versus them mentality. It's about not seeing how we're similar, but choosing to see how we're different and avoiding feeling close to those whom we feel are other. In-group empathy is that tribal feeling, family, disallowing others to enter our country. It's based on a limited mindset and it's not compassionate. Standing at the door is one of the deans that everyone likes. She is never condescending and never seems to get angry or overly stressed. She is kind and respectful to all students. This dean practices what we call cognitive empathy. In this state, we avoid allowing ourselves to become overwhelmed emotionally. We may hear and see the other person's emotions, but we don't take on their emotions. The dean is relatable because she seems really good at putting herself in other people's shoes, even when she may feel things the way you do. She's intellectually able to apply her empathy. At the middle table, there's a club that meets there all the time. This club is raising awareness around youth hunger in the neighborhood, and they are always working on colorful posters and planning events to collect food for the school food pantry. This group is expressing altruism. This is when we selflessly want to relieve the suffering of other people. We love with our hearts and minds, and we wish the best for another. We have a compassionate state of mind and show up with love and care for someone else. What we know about altruism is that it also is widespread in nature and instinctual to not want others harmed, even if not their own species. And as the group puts together their plan to help, everyone's favorite security agent makes his rounds. And as you see him come into the lunchroom, you see everyone's faces light up. Everyone is saying hello and waving, and he's stopping to chat with a few people. You feel your heart happy when you see this person. And you feel this way because he is a really calm, cool, and kind person who listens to you with his whole heart and mind. And you can't help it. You do the same. This is the state of neutral present awareness. Some call this state the definition of love. In this state, we feel we can completely relax and be with another. We're not trying to impose or change someone. We just love them for who they are. According to Chilean biologist Humberto Maturana, this state is the act of allowing the other to be a legitimate other. And as you finish your quick chat with the caring agent, your best friend comes into the lunchroom and they begin to tell you about the really amazing dinner they have planned for their mom's birthday this weekend. And here is where you are in tune and really connected, or rather interconnected, because you know that their mom treats you like one of her own, and together you are all in a state of agape. Some call this the state of universal love. In this state, we recognize the profound interconnectedness of all humans. This is comparable to the love of a parent for his or her child. This is a love that doesn't need to be earned. It's a brotherly and sisterly love, and it's limitless. Our friends at the Center for Systems Awareness teach us that as humans, we feel most connected with others when there is a deep emotional connection. The more we can create opportunities to deepen our connectedness with others, the more satisfying our relationships can be. The ladder is a tool for you to find yourself on this summer in our program. You'll use it when you need to get better in touch with your emotional state and to check in to see how you are showing up in the social field. You'll also use it to identify how others may be connecting to the social field and whether or not your relationship with those around you is strong or needs work. They say that through a self-reflective practice, we can begin to recognize how we're showing up in the social field, how we might be relating to others in a particular circumstance, and ultimately consider how we might move ourselves down the ladder toward a more compassionate stance. So, do your best to find your way, and remember, we are doing our best to create a space that is filled with love, filled with agape,